So we moved far away to a much bigger space, and as awesome as it is, first world problem, our Wi-Fi was weak in rooms far from the router. My wife and I both have offices downstairs, and having the strong internet signal throughout the house is absolutely critical, especially for my wife's work. I mean, look at the speeds when I'm downstairs and the door is closed. It literally feels like the dial-up days. Remember that? No? Lucky. Since it's so bad and she gets such brutal speeds in her office, we've resorted to running a long, ugly cable through our house to her work computer just so her video calls don't cut out and she can use her VPN. It's not pretty. Usually to expand your Wi-Fi, you need to install access points to boost the signal. But to install wired access points, well, you have to run and hopefully hide cables to where you want those access points to be, or you could hire someone to install some drops in your house, which could cost a lot of money. We can't really do that in our house with where the internet comes in. I mean, we literally have to drill through the floors and, well, we don't want to do that. But then a friend suggested looking into a mesh network, and while I really wanted to get a wired access point somehow set up, I figured since there's a full refund period on it, I may as well buy one and try it out. A mesh network is basically a series of routers or a main router that sends signals to satellites that will talk to one another on a separate frequency and give you expanded coverage in your house. You can add multiple satellites for huge coverage too. It looked good on paper, but I was skeptical. After some quick research, I bought a 2-pack of the TP-Link Deco. I really wanted 3 since I was worried that maybe a 2-pack wasn't enough for our 3,600 square foot house, but the reviews said 2 should be enough. And FYI, I was replacing a Ubiquiti Dream Machine router, a router that cost us close to $500 a few years ago, I might add. So is it faster? Even though the 2-pack was $300, does it have better coverage than a single $500 router? Oh my gosh. Yes, and it's not even close. It has been amazing so far, so good in fact that I wanted to make this video as soon as possible. So many times I go out to a friend's or family's house and they mention that in their bedroom or out on their patio their internet gets weak. This just fixes all of that. I mean, anyone that has a house should consider these. Where I would literally get 1 megabyte per second in my downstairs YouTube studio with the door closed, now look. Incredible. Where we would watch YouTube or Netflix in our little home gym, way in the farthest spot from the router, it was all grainy because of terrible Wi-Fi connectivity. Now the quality is great. I can't believe how much it has improved the quality of life. It was so much cheaper than what we were fearing we might have to pay for someone to install some wire drops, then buy access points on top of that, and it works so stinking well. We can watch our shows all over the house and browse Reddit or social where we want without waiting around. And the best part is, not only is it super easy to set up and use, we can also easily create separate networks for our guests or for kids, which is nice. Like instead of setting up each kid's laptop or iPad or phone with parental controls, just put all of those devices on a kid network, then limit what that network can access. Super easy without having to manage each device. Plus it has a built-in IoT network too, so if you have lots of smart devices, it will keep those separate, which is nice, because it's annoying having everything on the same network. This TP-Link app makes it super easy to run the network, which is a huge reason why I chose it. It's much easier than the Ubiquiti one I had anyway. Now don't get me wrong, Ubiquiti is great stuff, but maybe it's a little hardcore for your average person. Is the TP-Link Deco that I got the best mesh network system out there? I mean, from my research, I think it might be one of the best value ones out there at the moment. But you can buy beefier ones depending on the construction of your house. I think it's just fantastic. But the point of this video isn't which one to get, it's that a mesh network solved a huge problem for my family, and if you have any issues with Wi-Fi in your space, there's a good chance a mesh network could be a game changer for you too. And as some of you know, that's what I love sharing on this channel, products like this that once you set them up, you're just like, why didn't we do this sooner? I do have to say I'm very impressed with the TP-Link Deco. It has a fantastic app. It was so simple to set up that even a boomer could do it. And the ability to easily create other networks like ones for your kids, which you can monitor, or IoT ones for all your devices, I think it's just awesome. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who pay for high-speed internet like we do, but then they have their router on the furthest side of their house. So when they're in the bedroom or outside or in the garage, their internet is just terrible. They're not getting what they pay for, and that sucks. Just get these. Put one on each side of the house, or one upstairs and the other downstairs, and you'll never have a problem with weak Wi-Fi again. And I'm happy to say that after some research, it doesn't seem like the extra signal strength is gonna give us brain cancer or anything negative like that. Though don't quote me on that, so I can't really think of any negatives to getting them. Of course, nothing will beat a good old wired network with access points or plugging your computer or device directly into the router. But the reality is, unless you're playing ultra competitive gaming or maybe streaming massive files, the reliable Wi-Fi speeds you get from a mesh network will be more than enough for pretty much all of your needs. Plus, you still can plug directly into these if you want the fastest speeds possible. My wife's VPN speed over Wi-Fi is now as fast as it will go, and I can play my competitive games over Wi-Fi without needing to blame the internet speeds for why I lose. And toilet browsing has never been better. I stream 4K files no problem off my Plex server, and every other device in the house runs perfectly now. I can't think of a good reason not to recommend this. If you're interested in faster internet in your space, I will share the best deal I found after my research in the pinned comment and in the description below. I always try to make sure the products I recommend have at least a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if it's not as good as I say, you can get your money back. Always make sure to double check about the guarantee. Fast and reliable internet is just great. It makes life a little better, and I just love that. I think you would too. What about you? Have you tried a mesh network before? What was your experience like? Or if you wouldn't get one, why not? I'd love to know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video or found value from it, I would appreciate it if you took a second and click the like button. It's the only way for my channel to grow. And if you like learning about other products and things that make life better, consider subscribing. I'd love to have you. In case you missed my last video, check it out here. Otherwise, here's what YouTube thinks you'd like to watch next. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on The Sad Life.